CNN Money, over 36% of recent college grads with jobs are working in a position that does not require a degree. Another 8% of those same grads are working part-time jobs, and there are several other options out there if you're thinking about not going on to college but going right into a career. And Pam Mashburn with Potential Magazine is here to talk more about specifically if you're considering a career in the military. Pam, thank you so much for being here. This is a great option for kids if they don't think they're wanting to go to college.
Well, or even if they want to go to college and they don't want to have to take on a huge debt load.
Oh yeah.
You know, or maybe they're not sure what they want to do, but it gives them some options. I'll tell you what, we've got a story in the new edition of Potential. It'll be out next week. Okay. Yay. But the military story was a hard one because they are so flexible. There are so many options for young people today. And it's such an honorable career for kids
really
to get into.
So proud. I was just telling you, neither one of my older sons decided to do this, at least not to this point, but I would be so proud if they wanted to serve their country in this way. And you can start doing that in like JROTC programs in high school.
Well, and you know what, now there's a lot of different options. And actually I have one that was interested in doing it, and he job shadowed Major Jackson over at AUM, and that was really great because he got an idea of what airborne school is about, what Army's about, and because there's National Guard, then there's the 4 branches of the military.
Right.
There's a lot of options. They even have options that if you aren't sure what you want to do, and you've already been accepted to maybe the college of your choice, but you're not sure you want to go, or you want to use the GI Bill to pay for your college, they have it set up with these colleges that they will defer your enrollment.
Yeah.
So you can go into the military for a year, 2 years or whatever, and then go to that same college. You don't have to reapply. And so now you've gotten job experience and you know what you want to major in, and you get your college paid for.
I even had a good friend of mine who went to a 4-year college, went to Troy with me, and as soon as she graduated, she enlisted, and she was an officer right in the door. So, I mean, it's just a wonderful option if that's what you want to do. And she was thinking ahead. She knew she wanted to have a family. So even if you don't want to use it for college, your GI Bill would go to your children, so it would help them. They wouldn't have to worry about
Well, and you know, you were talking about the statistics at the beginning, but it is one of the, if you're going military, you have a job.
Yes.
You have job security. You have benefits. There are some real positives to that in this environment. I see a lot of the kids, like we talked about at the beginning, 44% of grads are earning less money than other college graduates because they're not in their field. They're not
working in the field that
their
they
career.
study.
That's right. And so the longer you go without being in that career, the harder it is to get back into it. So you're not just talking about under payment at the beginning of your career. You're talking about the whole length of your career.
Yeah, and trying to stay relevant in those terms is very difficult. So what about students out there or parents out there who might be watching and their students might have mentioned military might be an option for me? Where do you look? Where do you go?
Yeah, this is my suggestion because, like I said, there are a whole host of options. Go and talk to your guidance counselor, and there is going to be a military recruiter assigned to your high school, but there's also going to be military folks at the colleges themselves. In fact, there's a lot of ways to get your college paid for. One is if you enlist and then go back, but then there's also ROTC scholarships, which are totally merit-based, and it's based on leadership. If you're an Eagle Scout, you like max out the leadership credit points.
Wow.
Not too late, but usually they start at least by the age of 14 to be able to earn that Eagle Scout.
Well, what are the qualifications though for military service? You got to look at that.
You got to look at that too. I want to, you've got to be physically fit. You've got to be able to they are taking the cream of the crop. I mean, they're looking for kids that have the mental preparedness. It doesn't mean they have to necessarily be book smart, but they need to be able to think on their feet and pass some ASVAB tests. They can't have felony convictions or and they need to pass a drug test, obviously. And one thing I found out is that for many areas of the military, you can't be on ADHD medicine.
Okay.
So that rules out a lot of the kids that we have out there. So, but if you've been off of it for a couple of years, I think it's either 2 or 3 years, check on that, then you are eligible to go into military service. So there's a lot of things that you've got to look at. So start early. It's not something that you make a decision in one day. Go and have several meetings and have your parents go with you so that they can help evaluate where you're going to be best at. But like I said, they're very flexible, and they give you they want to know what you're interested in. They're not just going to throw you in a job, but they'll say, well, we have 3 areas where we have openings. and they'll see if it matches up with what your interests are.
Right, and it's like you said, if nothing else, it's another option out there, and a very
is.
good one.
It's a great option.
For some students. So consider that. Where can we find Potential Magazine?
Anywhere you can find Parents and Teens, and we're going to be delivering them next week, so be looking. We've got 300 places that we deliver. You don't want to miss it, but if for some reason you don't see it, call our office or get on our email list. Text 42828. Type the word potential and you can get on our email list. And
Sounds good.
we've got great information in there too.
All right, thanks so much, Pam.
thanks.
Always so good to see you. We'll see you next week.